Hi gang, Doug here. Welcome to yet another board game channel and yet another turn of Eldritch Horror. We're still trying to prevent Shudde from awakening and devastating the entire world. I think this is going to be a race. Well, before we get into things, a couple of little errors pointed out by Erandos Salvian. I noticed somehow I forgot about, I didn't see the Shan with its reckoning effect for some reason last turn, which meant we should have discarded the nearest clue token, which I think would have just been the one up here at Arkham. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. That would go away. The other thing was I was reading this wrong and thinking it was harder than it was. It said, may spend a clue to place one clue on the card. Apparently that one clue doesn't have to be your own. It's like you spend a clue to take a clue from the supply and put it on this card. So we really only need, one clue per success. As a result, I think I was worried about Doom catching up to us, and I was going to try to do some close some gates. I'm not going to close the gates fast enough. It's too late at this point. I'm just going to have to hemorrhage Doom and hope that we can just get this done fast. I'll try to pick up a couple more clues here and there and get everybody to Rome or any place else that might be devastated after this turn, because something will probably be devastated after this turn. Yeah, that is a plan. It's just a race to the finish to try to get encounters done in our devastated city and then rally the survivors. So, right, we lost Jim last turn as well. It didn't quite click with me at the time, but that means my entire original team is now gone. I've lost 4. However, we do now have a, again, randomly chosen replacement. Our new investigator is Daryl Simmons, the photographer. There he is. You can have a look at his stats. His best stuff is observation. Not so good with the lore. As an action, he can look at the top 5 cards of the asset deck and put them back in any order, then discard any number of cards from the reserve. I don't think we'll be doing much stuff with the reserve at this point because, again, racing. However, roll 1 additional die when resolving a test during a location encounter or a research encounter if you're on a city space. That won't help us if we manage to get him to Rome, because Rome is no longer a city, it's in ruins. His quote is, "The truth is darker than any of us know." You said it, buddy. His backstory. Daryl Simmons will never forget the night he saw an indescribable horror emerge from the shadows in his hometown of Arkham. Since that fateful night, the horror of what he saw permeates his every dream. Resolved to capture photographic evidence to prove what he saw, he has dedicated his life to pursuing rumors of supernatural sightings, the latest of which has brought him to an ancient burial ground in Indonesia. One good shot is all he needs, and there is no way he will let it slip through his fingers. So yes, he's starting in Jakarta, which is not the most ideal place for him, because he's got to wade through monsters to get to Rome. I think we're going to... I have a plan for that. And he's starting with a camera asset and a Seek the Truth asset. So he has the camera. Once per round, when you spend a clue, you may gain 1 clue. So if we can get him to Rome and get him started, we can give him a clue once he gets there and everybody else is hanging out. We can start trading. He can just keep going each turn, maybe. We'll see. It also has Seek the Truth. Whenever you gain a clue during a research encounter, spawn 1 clue. You may then spend 3 clues and discard this card to advance the active mystery by 1. Well, we'll see how that goes. Now, Seek the Truth was actually in the reserve. So I grabbed that out of there, and we have replaced it with a Mystic Scroll. You may reroll 1 die when resolving a lore test. Okay, so we're all set up. Now we are going to, everybody's going to head towards Rome. And, well, I'll explain what we're doing as we're doing it. Into the actions, we are going to start with Daryl. We've made him the lead investigator. So yeah, on to it. Yeah, here is Daryl. Problem is, we want him to take the shortest route possible to get to Rome, which means he's going to end up stuck on this space with those monsters. So, first action, he will move to that space in India. Second action, he's going to trade. He's going to get all that monster killing stuff from Sister Mary because he's stuck there. We can't get him to move any further along. So he's going to have to fight those monsters. We could give him the Mists of Relay to see if he can have encounters without things like ignore the monsters, but that's exceedingly unlikely given his very low lore. So we'll just let Sister Mary keep that. However, Daryl is going to acquire all that other good stuff that Mary was using when she was combating the monsters. The Hitman, genealogy research, which may give him an opportunity to get some clues. The Holy Spear. The Book of the Dead to make his will a little better, dealing with these horrors. And to go with it, the Profane Tome. So now Daryl is loaded for combat. Put all that stuff in his area. Because, yeah, he's got to fight these things. And we want him to have a really good chance at it. Alright, that is it for Daryl. Now, well, Sister Mary. Sister Mary, well, she's the only one on the main board right now with clues, and we can get her to Rome. Because she can, for her first action, get a train ticket in that city space. Second action, move to Istanbul and spend the train ticket to move onto what used to be Rome. So yeah, she can get started on the mystery this turn. Fingers crossed that she has a successful go of it. Now, that leads us to, well, Pete, Ashcan Pete, right there. We won't bother cutting away. Pete doesn't have any clues on him, and I don't want to move him in there to and then get a clue from Sister Mary because, well, he's down to 1 health and 1 sanity. If he goes in there, he's going to die on a reckoning, and yeah, we got to avoid any more deaths. So he's going to move to Istanbul, which is nice and monster-free at the moment. And he is going to rest, leaving him at 2 and 2. And he can try to pick up that clue and then use it next turn. Fingers crossed. Alright, that is it for Pete. Now, that leaves us with Patrice, all on her lonesome in Antarctica. Well, there's Patrice. I don't really have... There's not much she can do there. Well, I suppose she could try to use the local action. But first of all, she will definitely take a focus. Don't want her to move. Her banishment won't do any good because the nearest gate, Antarctica, does not have any monsters on it to banish. And yeah, I was thinking of having her rest. On the other hand, maybe let's go ahead and test her observation and see if she can get herself another clue. She's got 2 clues. It wouldn't hurt to have 3. I mean, it'd be wonderful if we could get her over to Rome super quick, but that's not going to be a thing. So, move that 18 bit. Going to test her observation, which is 3. See if she can get herself another clue just to make sure she's successful on all kinds of stuff. Yes, there we go. All right. Another clue for Patrice. Patrice has all the clues and can't get anywhere devastated. But if she can work on these, work on the adventure, she is still contributing to the mystery, which is awesome. All right. Yeah, I think that is it for the action. So, on to the encounters, and we're going to see how Daryl does with some monsters. Yeah, Daryl, we're just going to throw him right into it on his first turn. To deal with the hunting horror first, as it only has 1 hit point left. So first, it's going to do the sanity check, which is going to be his will -1 to try to prevent 3 mental damage. His will's actually pretty good at 3, so that takes it down to 2. However, he also has the Book of the Dead, which adds another 2. And I believe, yes, with the Profaned Tome, he will get to, he'll get to re-roll 1 die. But he doesn't need to. Yes, go Daryl. Daryl's like, I've seen stuff. This hunting horror isn't that horrible to me. Alright. So now, we're going to do some combat. We need just 1 to finish it off because it's taking 2 damage, but we would like 2 in order to not take any hits ourselves. So his regular strength is 2. He's going to get +4 from the Holy Spear and 1 additional die because of the Hitman. So that'll be 7. And 3 right off. So done. We prevented any damage. He has finally killed this very stubborn hunting horror, which gives him a clue of its very own because of the Book of the Dead. So we will grab a clue for him. So he'll be very good. He can get to Rome next turn and start doing stuff. And, well, we might as well do this. When you defeat a monster with a toughness of 2 or more, it has 3. During a combat encounter, you may examine the creature's remains. So, we will be testing his observation, which is his best, with 4. And he didn't get it. It's fine. I suspect he's going to have another shot. Oh no, he won't, because the The other monster only has a toughness of 1, so he won't get to do the genealogy research when he kills the next one, and I just assume he's going to kill it. Positive thoughts. All right. First things first. Going to be will +1 to prevent 1 damage. I think Daryl's okay, because that'll be 6. He's rolling 6 with a reroll. There we go. We can stop. Now, this particular critter, the Zoog, it's not a strength test. It's an observation test. That's okay. I think we're going to be all right. Observation -1. We just need a single success. His observation is 4, giving us 3. But again, he still has the Book of the Dead, which improves his observation as well. Yeah. My head went somewhere for a minute. I thought I'd done something wrong, but no, I didn't. Okay, so he will be rolling. He'll be rolling 5. And we just need 1 success. He got 2. Yes, Daryl is the man. Now we just need, next turn, need to get him to roam. Please, nothing nearby, disaster-wise. That will kill all of our wonderful, wonderful people. Because on top of all this, he gets himself another clue because of the Book of the Dead. Whenever a monster is defeated, gain a clue. Right. So the Zoog is also gone. He's safe. He can travel to Rome next turn. Depending, of course, on what happens in our city encounter. Let's remember he gets to roll 1 additional die when resolving location encounters if you're in a city, which he very much is. Sorry, that one does not want to focus. There we go. Hey, flood has destroyed the library. Ah! I work in a library, so that kind of makes me wince. You look through the sludge for valuable items. Oh, look. Observation. Should have just left that there. It's observation 4. Right, there's observation of 6 because of the Book of the Dead. Again, success without doing it all. If you pass, you make an important find. Find 1 tome unique asset. That's the good stuff. And a spell. Okay. Well, here are the unique asset items and trinkets. We're going to draw from the bottom until we find a tome. Trinket, item tome. Hold journal, action, test observation. If you pass, you discover information that may prove useful to your cause. Flip this card. Probably won't do that next turn because I want to spend all of next turn getting to Rome, so you can start doing stuff. But yeah, sometimes those are very good results on the back. Sometimes they're meh. Oh right, and a spell. Of course, he's terrible at spells with the Lore of Wands, but he gets Arcane Insight. Here's a ritual, has an action, choose yourself or any other investigator on any space. Test lore -2. Yeah, that would be appalling. Roll 1 additional die for each tome possession you have. If you pass, that investigator gains a clue. I could use this stuff a little bit earlier to bulk up on the clues. Okay, well, Daryl was wildly successful that turn. Killed monsters, got clues, got stuff. So, let's see what Sister Mary can do in the ruins of Rome. Alright, Mary in Rome, first things first, has to have a devastation encounter. The military has been sent to protect survivors. After encountering the voracious creatures that prowl through the night, however, the soldiers are anxious to leave. You try to convince them to stay and fight. I'm going to test her influence, which is a lowly 2. Yeah, Daryl's our best influence, but again, he's miles away. Oh, yes. Leads us to the success. You lead the soldiers against the vicious beasts that prowl the city. Test strength. Also 2. And I don't want to spend one of her clues because we need the clues bad. Okay. If you pass, if you fail, you lose something important as you retreat. Discard 1 item possession. Oh, she doesn't have any items. She just gave them all to Daryl. Ha! So there. Alright. So now, this is going to be iffy. After investigator resolves a devastation encounter, they may attempt to organize a release effort to help the displaced civilians. Going to test influence -1, which means she's only going to roll a die. And if we pass, we can spend a clue to put a clue there. Alright. Oh, I'll pull those dice out first, so I know what I'm actually rolling. So here's the question. Do I spend 1 clue to re-roll that? No, I think maybe we just need to... Well, you know what? Pete, I'm hoping will pick up a clue, so he'll have one to go over. Daryl will get there next turn. He's got 2 clues. He can give a clue to somebody. And when he spends a clue, he gets a clue. So he can just keep trying over and over again. We're spending 1 of the 2 clues in an attempt to be successful so we can spend a clue. It's clueception. No, it didn't work. Shoot. Well, had to try. We still got a tiny bit of time left. We might still be able to squeeze something out here, but it is what it is. Time to move on. We will now join Ashcan Pete, who's going to try to pick himself up a clue in Istanbul. All right, we are research encounter in a city. Come on, focus, you. There you go. You break into the police station to read a classified report about a recent series of ritualistic killings in areas affected by the recent earthquakes. Gain this clue. Hey! Pete's got himself a clue. You try to escape. Don't like the sound of that. Without being seen, observation -1. So he's only going to be rolling 2 dice. He's got 2 clues, and Duke will let him re-roll once around. Doesn't matter. Nailed it. If you fail, you are caught in the act, and your things are confiscated. Discard a weapon possession. It wouldn't have mattered. He has no weapons. So, even had we failed, we would have been... Okay, alright, next turn. Pete can go and help out the people of Rome as well. Alright, this leaves us with Patrice, who is going to do this thing in Antarctica. And I'm pretty sure this next bit is guaranteed. Well, I say guaranteed, you know, as long as she doesn't, as long as her encounter here doesn't kill her or move her somewhere else, we're okay. So she's going to have an encounter at the city of Elder Things. The Elder Things. You find the horrific mangled bodies of Gedney and the missing dog. Will -1. Okay, her will is 4. This is good, and she has a focus. Oh, and once per round she can. Oh yeah, once per round she can re-roll 1 die thanks to her Antarctic guide. Doesn't matter. She held it together quite easily. Oh, come on. Sorry. If you pass, you stay calm and notice his corpse is clutching a strange object. Gain an artifact. Yeah, we're getting all the good stuff now when it's this close to the end. If you fail, so on and so forth. Oh, the next artifact she picks up. The Tattered Cloak. Item magical. You may spend 1 fewer sanity to pay for an effect. If an effect would cause you to lose sanity, lose 1 fewer sanity instead. Okay, she's going to stay incredibly sane during this. Now, the important part. After an investigator resolves a location encounter on City of the Elder Things, if the adventure token is on that space, which it is, they may spend 1 clue. She's got 3, so there goes 1, to complete this adventure. When this adventure is completed, advance the active mystery by 1, which means we get to grab a random clue from the supply and put it on the mystery. We're 1/4 of the way there. And then we reveal the final stage of the Antarctica adventure. Got all the Part 3 cards, and see. This is the one I most did not want to get. Confronting the Shoggoth, you are paralyzed by the enormous size and strength. How did the Elder Things ever control such creatures? In the end, they couldn't be contained. When this card enters play, spawn the rampaging Shoggoth epic monster on City of the Elder Things. When this adventure is completed, advance the active mystery by 1. When an investigator encounters the rampaging Shoggoth epic monster, before resolving the strength test, they may spend a clue. If you don't spend the clue, you fail the strength test. And when the Shoggoth, rampaging Shoggoth, is defeated, complete this adventure. Yeah, that was the worst one out of the 4 possibilities to show up. But that's what happened. Just give me a moment and I will find that monster. Okay, there it is. Yuck. As you can see, yeah, there's no way Patrice can fight this thing on her own. See, it's got a toughness of 4, there's the sanity check, and the strength check, which is a -1. I mean, she's a violinist. She's got a strength of 1. It does have a reckoning effect. This monster recovers 2 health. Then each investigator on this space or an adjacent space loses a sanity. So we're just going to pop that on the space with her. That token can go away because, well, our adventure is over. Oh, hell no. We are not fighting this thing. However, I did notice she can actually get back to the main world a little more easily. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, had to sneeze there. Okay. Yeah, if she gets to the Plateau of Lang, as a local action, she can test her lore, which is 3, so not bad, or spend one of her 2 remaining clues, and if she passes, she can move to any space containing a gate. We could have her move right over to Istanbul and maybe close the gate next turn. Yeah, that would actually save our, reduce our doom by 1 when it ticks around. Okay, that's the plan. Next turn, Patrice is going to the Plateau of Lang and getting herself back to the regular board with everybody else. But it's okay, it was great having her there because she managed to get 1 clue on our mystery. This is getting really tight, isn't it? Alright, that is it for the encounters. It went fairly well. Sister Mary could have used a little more success. But we'll see what happens next turn. So, before we go any further, before we run away and lick our wounds between turns, yes, it's the dreaded Mythos phase. Okay, here we go. Time for lots of bad things to happen. Snowflakes. Hey, but we'll see. We gotta get through all this first. Right, first things first, the Omen track. Around to blue, we have 1, 2 blue gates. Putting doom down to 4 and passing through an Eldritch token, which means yes. Okay. Which is it going to be? Sydney, burned to the ground. Nobody's in Sydney. Yeah. Everywhere you run, fire and smoke seems to be ahead of you. Once the flames reach the oil refinery at Botany Bay, oh dear, the end becomes inevitable. Each investigator on Sydney would lose 4 health and 4 sanity and get 2 madness conditions. I'm developing madness conditions myself, playing this. Sydney is devastated. Okay. Well, okay, we got lucky there. Gonna add that to Sydney. Sydney is in ruins. Wow, that could have been a lot worse. Oh. Okay. Next up, the good old reckoning effects. We will move. Oh, hell, I just realized we're going to lose Pete anyway. Well, won't jump the gun. We'll have a look. Right, monsters. So, moving across the board, we have the Shad, which, yes, I now remember, will eat the nearest clue token. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty even for all of them, so let's just get rid of that one. One in North America. Deep one. Each investigator on this space loses 1 sanity. Not an issue. The werewolf is going to move 1 space toward the nearest investigator, and then hurt them for 1. I think. Well, yeah, we're going to lose Pete no matter what. I'll tell you why. Because the Shudde will kick in, and he'll have to lose 2 health and/or sanity. Which will put him down to 1 and 1, but then the Scales of Thoth will also kick in, making him lose either one, the other, or both. And that will knock him down to nothing. So, oh wait, but if I move the werewolf there, when Patrice comes through, she is going to get mapped. How hard is the werewolf? Well, werewolf's not too bad. Well, no, she can't do it. She cannot possibly do it. Well, she's got her 25 automatic, which gives her an extra die. You know, I don't really want to move it to roam, but I think we have to. Because, yes, okay, because next turn we are moving Daryl to roam. He can take out the werewolf, no problem. Moves there. Sister Mary takes a damage, which is too bad, leaving her at 1. It's okay. She's got enough sanity that she can take the Shudde hit. Oh boy. The not care. Right, only hurts investigators on the space. The Migu, oh right, will move to the nearest clue and eat it. I'm pretty sure that'll be up here in Greenland. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Can't get to the one in the pyramids. Excuse me. Oh, right. And hanging out with Patrice, the rampaging Shoggoth, would gain 2 health. Each investigator on this space or an adjacent space loses 1 sanity. But look what she just picked up. That tattered cloak. If an effect would cause you to lose sanity, lose 1 fewer sanity instead. That would be 0. That was well timed, that tattered cloak. Okay, now we move on to the Shudde. So everybody has to lose a total of 2 health and or sanity. Daryl is going to take 2 health. Sorry. Leaving him at 5 and 5. Sister Mary has to take the 2 sanity. Leaving her at 1 and 1. Pete has to take 1 of each or he dies right away. Leaving him at 1 and 1. And Patrice, well, let's just say that she would take 2 sanity, knocked down to 1, leaving her at 3 and 3. Yay, tattered cloak. Okay, that's that. Now, effects and, no, not effects. Conditions and possessions, nothing for Daryl. Sister Mary is going to have to deal with her leg condition, her leg injury. We're going to test her strength of 2. Success. We do not have to flip it over. Good, because if it hurt her at all, she would die. And yeah, now the problem, Ashcan Pete, left with 1 and 1, has to lose 1 health and or sanity. Yeah, I should have just moved him right to Rome to see if he could have. Damn. Okay, well, yeah, that was my mistake. I didn't see that coming. Oh. Means we get to decide if he dies from, well, incapacitated from health or sanity. I don't know if it's going to make any difference. We'll stick with health because that seems to be what's taking everybody else out. It's going to stay right there in Istanbul as it is a city so far. Hasn't been destroyed yet. Doom goes down to 3. Ah! Okay. Patrice doesn't have anything with a reckoning. I think that's it for reckoning effects. Which means we move on to spawning a gate. Don't be green. Oh. Rome. Can it spawn in Rome? Oh god, I think it can spawn in Rome. Because it's still, oh, it's just the city effects that don't happen. Ah, okay, this is bad because that means we have another monster in Rome. Hopefully it's something else Daryl can just come in and thwack with the Holy Spear and his hitman. We get a flying polyp, which is a fairly tough one. Move this monster to the nearest space containing a gate on, well, it's on a freaking gate. Okay, on the other hand, it means Patrice could just go straight there. Next turn. Oh, man. We're so close. Well, ish. Alright, what else happens? I'm not at liberty to disclose my client's identity, the lawyer says with a dialect you cannot place. Suffice to say, a line of credit has been established. For now, no obligations are attached to these funds. Mysterious benefactor, event. The lead investigator gains a funding condition. Haven't seen these much, so I don't know how useful they're going to be. Agreement, funding. You may discard this card in place of gaining a debt condition or to discard a debt condition. Reckoning, if you're on a city space, you may flip the card. So yeah, that's not going to be terribly useful to us because we're headed for Rome, because Daryl's going to get that. Which isn't a city anymore. It's a horrible wasteland filled with miserable, miserable people who we're trying to help, but they just won't listen because our influence isn't high enough. Well, I think maybe we have one more turn in this, and that is probably going to be it. Yeah, looking at it, this is going to be ridiculously close. Well, we'll see what happens next time. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for liking the videos, both on YouTube and Board Game Geek. That's very much appreciated. And I will see you next time for yet another turn of Eldritch Horror. So long.